Howdy friends, Wes here, once again, Beer Geek Photography. Welcome to another gear review. Today we are looking at the brand new from Canon 50mm STM 1.8 lens. This lens was just released a few days ago. I'm getting it out, putting it through its paces out here at Paynes Prairie State Park near Gainesville, Florida. So what's new about the 50mm STM 1.8 lens? Well, first of all, let's start out with what's not new, the price. The price is still right at $125. I'm sure a couple times a year we'll see the price drop to around $110 on sale. So that's really great news. They haven't raised the price. Have they made it any better? And my initial impressions are yes, they have made this lens much better. First, starting off with the mount is once again a metal mount. The original version of this lens did have a metal mount. After a while, they came out with the Mark II version of the lens and it went to a plastic mount. Made the production costs a little less expensive, but it also made the lens itself a little more fragile. So it's really nice to see this metal mount come back. The main thing that they have changed about the lens itself is the lens now features a stepper motor focusing instead of the original geared motor kind of focusing. So this focuses almost nearly silently like your kit lens would. So it is much smoother focusing, it's much quieter focusing. The lens itself doesn't have that rattle that the older 50mm lenses had. They just had a really cheap rattly feel. Don't have that anymore. They have changed the filter size to a 49mm filter. So it's a little bit smaller than before. So if you bought any kind of polarizing filters or anything like that in the past for your 50mm lens, you're gonna have to buy another one for this one possibly if you don't already have that size. So yeah, I've been out, I've shot around with this lens. So far I am very impressed with it. The image quality is, I would say, on par with the previous version. I was expecting maybe a little bit better image quality. For my initial test, I'm not seeing much difference in the image quality. It's about the same. Wide open, it's a little bit soft. It's maybe a kit lens kind of soft. It's not super sharp that you'd expect to get from a prime lens. But once you stop this down to f2.2, f2.5, it does get really, really sharp. So if you do want to get a really nice sharp picture, I do recommend stepping down a few stops just to get into that sharp range. Another new feature of this lens, the previous version had 5 standard aperture blades, which produced a very hexagonal, very noticeable kind of bokeh in the background. This new version features 7 curved aperture blades, much rounder, much more beautiful bokeh balls background. Really, really much prettier background. So overall, I highly recommend this lens. Even if you already have the Mark II or the Mark I version of the lens, this is a worthwhile upgrade. Sell your old lens, maybe get 50 bucks or so back for it, and put it towards this lens. It's a worthwhile upgrade. Much better construction, much better feel. It has a really good feel to it, really solid feel, great pictures, great bokeh. If you're really into bokeh, get this lens, absolutely. It'll destroy the previous version as far as bokeh. Really, really pretty bokeh. Okay guys, so let's take a look at some of the images I captured with this brand new 50mm STM lens over the past few days. These first few images we're going to look at I captured while I was out at Paynes Prairie there the other day, talking about the lens a little bit. This first image is sort of just a close-up shot of a pickerel weed. Really pretty colors and the flowers, and they're blooming in full bloom right now. You can see how the background here is really nice and soft and creamy. If we zoom in on the image, you'll see that this was shot at 1.8 at ISO 100 and 1/2500th of a second, so very fast shutter speed. And at 1.8 you can see how the image is not super sharp when we zoom in fully on it, but it's pretty good, pretty acceptable. As I said, it gets sharper as you stop down. All these images were taken with my Canon T4i with the APS-C sensor in it, just for reference. Yeah, it does really, really good there. Let's move on to the next image here. Here's another sort of a low shot to give you kind of an idea of more of a scene. This is at f8 here, so it's focusing right in the middle here. You can see it's very, very nice, and once it loads up here, you see very, very crisp, very sharp picture here at f8 at 125th of a second. Does really well when you stop it down, as I said, right in that mid-range, it gets really sharp. So very impressive there. Impressive detail, impressive colors and contrast. Really happy with it in the mid-ranges there. Here's another one at 1.8 again, so you kind of get an idea of the depth of field in more of an open, expansive kind of scene. Really nice soft background, and the pickerel weed up here is pretty sharp. Looks pretty good there. Okay, here is an image I took just in the neighborhood here, and sort of a flower bed, and I was just going to show the bokeh balls in these images, so you can kind of see very nice and smooth and round, and really pretty there. And here again in the fountain here, you've got these nice, beautiful, rounded bokeh balls in the background, so that looks pretty good. And here's another sort of just a scene of the fountain itself at 1.8, and then how soft the background is. It's not super soft. It does a nice job of giving you a nice depth and a nice crispness to the whole scene there, so that was nice. Okay, these next series of images are completely uncorrected raw files, just giving you an idea of the sharpness of the lens and the overall quality. So these are no corrections at all. You do see I do a lens correction on import, but so far there is no lens correction for this lens, so it's not actually doing anything in Lightroom. But this is the first shot here is at f22, the minimum aperture of the lens. As you can see, it's not real sharp. I'm focusing sort of right here on this seam here on this sugarcane press. Let's go down to f16 here. You'll see getting much sharper here. A lot more detail in the rusty surface of the press here. Let's go back down to f11. Even more detail here. Just getting right in the middle. And nice medium range. This is at f8. Really super sharp at f8. Here it is at 5.6. Still very sharp. And here we are at f4, still pretty good and sharp. Here we are at f2.8, still pretty good, does really well at f2.8. Really great shot at 2.8, and you can see nice, really soft, smooth background, but really sharp wherever your focus point is. And then here it is at f1.8. As you can see, it's a little soft. It's not super sharp. As I said, wide open, the lens is not super sharp. So those are sort of some image quality examples for you. I will post a link to a Flickr photo album of all these images if you'd like to look at them up close yourself. I will post that for you. That is the Canon 50mm STM lens. Thank you for checking out this video review and my thoughts. As I said, absolutely a must-buy in my opinion, even if you already have the previous version. Sell it, get rid of it. Give it to somebody who's just starting out. Buy this lens. It's that good in my opinion. It's a really worthwhile upgrade. If you like this review, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Ask any questions you have down in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll see you again real soon. This is Beer Geek Photography signing out.